Derrick Henry ran like a monster, shredded the Bills' defense, and looked ready to be the hero of the night. But right in the middle of an incredible performance, a single mistake changed everything. The game flipped in an instant, and by the end, Henry shocked everyone with what he said after the loss. His words were strong, unexpected, and sparked a whole new discussion about the season. What exactly did Henry say? And why could it change the way we remember this game? Derrick Henry seemed destined to be the star of the night. With 169 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, he did exactly what everyone expected. Dominated the game with power, explosiveness, and consistency. Every time the ball was in his hands, it felt like the Ravens were in total control. It was a kind of performance that cements Henry's status as one of the most feared players in the NFL. But football has a cruel way of flipping narratives in seconds. After so many decisive runs, Henry made a mistake that outweighed all his previous successes. That fumble at that moment wasn't just a lost play. It was a turning point that gave the Bills a chance to rally and believe in a comeback. In big games like this, every detail matters, and this time, that detail came at a huge cost. The contrast is stark. On one side, an unstoppable running back breaking tackles and keeping the offense alive. On the other, the memory of a single play that changed the course of the entire story. It's unfair to reduce such a dominant performance to one isolated mistake, but that's how sports work. In the end, what sticks in collective memory isn't impressive numbers. It's the play that turned the game. And that's where Henry's greatness off the field comes in. Instead of hiding, he faced the responsibility head-on, admitting that the fumble changed everything. The same strength he showed running the ball was the strength he used to publicly acknowledge. The loss was on him. It's a rare stance, and it makes what happened that night even more impactful. After the final whistle, Henry didn't shy away from cameras or try to justify what happened. He was blunt. He said he relaxed on protecting the ball, that he should have kept it tight, and that the mistake was his. Few players with such a dominant performance would have the courage to take the entire loss on themselves, but Henry did it clearly, without sugarcoating. His honesty grabbed attention as much as the fumble itself. This kind of stance says a lot about who he is in the locker room. He's not just an elite running back. He's a leader who understands his impact on the team. Owning up isn't just about self-blame. It's about showing the team he's willing to face the consequences. That honesty earns respect because his teammates know they're not dealing with someone who hides in tough moments. Of course, no NFL game can be boiled down to one single mistake. Henry knows that, but his statement made it clear he holds himself to an extremely high standard. By saying, "The loss is on me," he shows he pushes himself relentlessly to be better, and that every play, even amid so many, carries immense weight. This mindset is what keeps him competitive year after year, always ready to shoulder more responsibility than might seem fair. And this moment reveals something bigger. How a season's narrative is shaped not just by what happens on the field, but also by how the main players respond afterward. Henry didn't shy away, and his candid reaction ensures the story of this game isn't just about a fumble, but also about someone who isn't afraid to face the truth. While Henry took the blame publicly, the locker room reaction was completely different. His teammates refused to let one player carry the weight of the loss. Many emphasized that, while the fumble was important, he didn't decide the game on his own. The message was clear. No one on the team was going to let one mistake erase everything Henry had done that night. This kind of support shows just how solid their trust in him is. Teammates who spend every day with him know the impact he has, both on the field and as a leader. It's natural that they would shield him from outside criticism and prevent a simplistic narrative from taking over. Football losses involve countless factors, from play calls to execution in critical moments, and reducing everything to one play would be unfair. Beyond that, there's a clear admiration for his effort. Henry didn't just put up impressive stats. He kept the offense alive in situations that seem hopeless. That kind of commitment builds bonds within the team, which is why no one accepted the idea of placing the loss solely on his shoulders. The Ravens' locker room understood that one mistake can't overshadow elite performance, and that unity helps keep the team strong throughout a long season. Knowing his teammates have his back and recognize his value gives Henry confidence, even after a night of ups and downs. That balance between self-critique and collective support is what sustains a team chasing big goals.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Beyond the emotional weight of the fumble and the loss, there's a practical side. This game could have direct consequences in the playoff race. The Ravens and Bills are both top contenders in the AFC, and every win counts when it comes to securing home field advantage. Losing a head-to-head matchup like this could cost dearly down the line, where every detail affects final seeding. Football is ruthless that way. This wasn't just another loss in the standings. It was a loss against a direct rival, who now has the edge in case of a tie. Playing on the road in January against opponents of this caliber can completely change the trajectory of a season. That's why this game wasn't just another date on the calendar. It could be a decisive one when looking at the standings later. This makes Henry's mistake feel even heavier, not because he alone decided the outcome, but because the timing of the fumble gave the Bills an opening to seize control. In a tight game, every detail matters, and this one play tipped the scales. And that feeling of potentially losing something big is what gives this moment its weight. The season is long, but games like this leave plays etched in memory as possible turning points. Maybe that's why Henry's self-criticism resonates so much. He knows it's not just one game, but a ripple that could affect the path to the playoffs. In the end, what sticks in everyone's mind isn't the 20 or 30-yard runs, but the ball slipping out of Henry's hands at a crucial moment. It's harsh, because he was the engine driving the offense all night, but NFL narratives tend to focus on plays that shift the game. For this matchup, the fumble became the symbol of the Bills' comeback. That doesn't take away from what Henry represents or erase his impact on the field, but it shows how the sport is built on moments. A single play can define an entire night, no matter what came before. That's exactly what happened on Sunday. The dominant performance took a back seat to the play that opened the door for the comeback. And moments like this can even become personal turning points. Players of Henry's caliber use them as fuel, turning frustration into motivation for the rest of the season. Mistakes hurt, but they also reinforce the need to stay at maximum focus, because any lapse can be costly. Ultimately, Henry's night will be remembered for that contrast. On one side, a monstrous performance keeping the Ravens in the game. On the other, a fumble that became the symbol of a painful loss. And it's in that balance between greatness and failure that the NFL's most intense stories are built. Stories that echo long after the final whistle. Derrick Henry showed his full power on the field, but he also showed his humanity by owning a costly mistake. What could have been remembered as a night of eye-popping stats ended up defined by a critical fumble and a candid statement where he took full responsibility. At the same time, it's clear the Ravens don't see this loss as falling on one player's shoulders. The entire locker room came to his defense, proving that one mistake doesn't erase the greatness of someone who carried the team almost a whole game. Yet, that play could still weigh heavily in the playoff race, and it may go down as one of the moments that shaped the season. Now I want to know, do you think Henry did the right thing taking the blame himself, or is this a loss that can't fall on just one player? Drop your thoughts, because this debate is far from over. One thing's for sure, the story of this game will echo for a long time, and Derrick Henry's name will be at the center of it.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.